Alrighty, we are back for episode 41. And today we are at Okrans Shield, which is now part of the Shek Kingdom. In our last episode, we came here, we conquered, we defeated everyone at Okrans Shield, which previously belonged to the Oakranites, also known as the Holy Nation. And now we have High Inquisitor Valatia, I think is the name. Alright. And we also somehow, not sure how this happened, but somehow we let somebody escape. Uh, the gorillo guy. He's gone. He must have been put down at some point. I'm not sure how or when. Hammett was carrying him. He didn't take any arm or limb damage. He wasn't knocked out. He must have put him down at some point. Like I misclicked. But like sometimes when you like go to heal someone, it'll say like, "Oh, put down." When it's like, no, it should heal. But because that one guy who can't heal is in there, it removes that option and only gives you put down for whatever reason. So we need to get to ideally add mag with that prisoner, ideally with Beep. So let's get going. Ideally going through Skinner's Realm south, and then crossing around Bad Teeth, headed towards Stack, and then just keep following the line. Avoiding a lot of the Holy Nation stuff. Because if we can avoid it all, we can avoid a whole lot of fights we don't really need to be in. That will take a while. Save some time. Anywho, after the last episode, spent some time wrapping up twisting some wire up. That is a whole ton. I've never seen such a big pack of bulls. Like, this is scary. Like, there's gotta be, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 13 adults and 6 children. Like, this pack can really, like, easily take out large squads. Like, that pack is more scary than a pack of high inquisitors. No joke. They are scary. Oh, look, a ton of idiots. Come to die. Yes, apparently. Harry Potter. Anywho, things are going fairly well. Haven't ran into too many things, and we sort of mostly passed the area where we could run into something. Getting close to the place where, at a certain point, we could just go to Bad Teeth and let the Shek deal with whatever. Like these guys. We could just run past the Bad Teeth if we wanted to. I don't know if we really want to do that. We definitely want to go to Bad Teeth. Do we want General Souls? No. Back in HQ? No. I think we just want to run past those guys, let the guards deal with them, or not deal with them if they please. Because we got stuff to do. Alrighty. Hello. Khajiit has wares if you have coin or something. We do want to keep that. We do not want to keep these. Sure. Keep the food. Sell the... Alright. Toss. Toss. Keep all that. Right, we are at our base. Do you know what that means? Fuck, he's out of money. Alright. How did that happen? Are you carrying anyone? You are. You're also carrying somebody. You are carrying somebody. You are carrying somebody. You are not. Stubbs? You are not. Pick up. Pick up. Alrighty. So we got a weapon shop. That'll do. I'll have Boop run it here. And the rest of you manage to make it from point A to point B without causing problems. Maybe. Start from the bottom, move our way up. Oh. That was quick. Alright. Do we want to keep the specialist armor? Maybe. We want to keep these, or this, or this. I figure let's sell everything we don't want to keep for now. And worry about that in a minute once we a bit more easier to go through stack. And you're out of money. Easy. Alright. You are useless. You are useless. You are not. So we want to go to the bar. Alrighty. Barman, give me your strongest potion. Okay. And you're already out of money? Really? Uh... Okay. Well, that was easy. 2 months. What can we sell worth 400 approximately? Alright, and you're out of money. So we don't want the police, we don't want the residents. Do we want that bar? We do want that bar. We want to come this way first, hopefully not blitzing into the wall. You come over here. Only one of you come over here. I know it's Evie. Is that Holy Nathan? That is Holy Nathan. They even have a high pallet. You and you come over here. Uh, okay, and I'll have Hammett take over as the grabber of stuff. I don't think I want to loot the lower servants, right? This have sticks. Alright. Free money. Interesting. People to talk to. So we buy more food. Yes. Alright. Diplomatic pacifier. A drifter. Thief fence. Okay. We are done in this city. We're done. We have done all we need. No, it doesn't matter which gate you use. You can use that one, you can use that one. It's up to you. Alright. So, we need to get out of here. We need to cross that bridge. Almost immediately. Not when we come to it. And we need to make our way towards first stack to sell some stuff, then trade hub and Squin, hopefully buying some better backpacks. And then all the way to AdMag to turn in that Holy Nathan guy. I could turn him in elsewhere. I want to see what happens when I turn it in specifically to the head of the kingdom. This Esata the Stone. I think they'll say something. I just don't know what. Curious. Also worth 500k was cool. Is it interesting at this one? No. This wolf. Anywho, did the wire part, like getting it ready. Still need to actually wrap. Who are these hungry bandits? Okay. Come to die. Howdy, what's on? I wonder if any of them, they don't have actual names. We should take one and just name him Harry Potter for the memes. And then, you know, leave him in a jail cell to die. That'd be hilarious. Let's see, who is the most fucked up? You lost, oh, you're already dead. I'd guess it'd be the dead one. The dead one's probably the most. He's dying, but he has all of his limbs. He's dying. Yeah, it looks like only one of them lost a limb, and the one who lost a limb is already dead. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with all that just for a meme. Huh. You know, we've seen more than 100 guardians. I'm not sure I buy that there's 100 of them. Dump this. Someone had some steel and yeah. Really? Green, did I tell you to go to bed? No. Okay, which one of you had the stuff? You're not going there. Okay, there you go. Anyone else? No. Alright. While I'm here, I could... probably something about that. Alright. Dump those. And sure. I think we're good. I think we're good. And that's the armor storage. So, stolen armor. That's not garbage that we want to keep. Or you know, that's decent. So all of this is stolen. And I'm gonna sell that. Sell, keep. Alright, keep. I think I'm gonna sell all the rest of that. Just because these thirds are decent and we have lots of high grade armor and don't really use the leg platings, and we have other helmets we use. These aren't horrible, but they're not great, in my opinion. Like, if they do it for you, good for you. I'll keep the specialist one. It is specialist, after all. Alright, anyone have stolen shirts? Probably somebody. We did steal a lot of shirts. Yeah, that's stolen. That's stolen. Alright. Anyone have stolen hoods? Or helmets? We need to get back to not stolen. Oh, not back. Get to not stolen condition. Remove serial numbers. This is gonna be an interesting next couple decade or two. Because, like, once upon a time, to manufacture, say, weapons, right, you needed a certain amount of knowledge and a certain amount of, like, heavy equipment. Like, you needed drill presses, you needed lathes, you needed, like, to do, like, real precision stuff. You needed, like, all this, you know, basically a workshop. And it used up a lot of power. It was very expensive. A lot of the parts only had a few manufacturers. So, like, how many people can you get a machine lathes from? Well, not that many places. A lot more like 5, 10K, 20K, 100K, some over $1 million. It's crazy. And they're tools you use to make money, right? They're not tools you get because you think it'd be cool to have, in general. I think all is pretty much done. Alright. So, weapon-wise, I don't think we have anything that we need to worry about that's stolen. We might have, like, a holy cross. I'm not sure if if we have one of the High Inquisitor's holy cross on somebody. We definitely got a really nice holy cross. Anyway. That one's stolen. Not anymore. So if we ever decide to sell it, it's worth 100% of its value. Anywho. So, now with 3D printing technology, it's getting insane. Like, durability-wise, you're not quite where you'd be at if you use all metal parts. But, like, you're close enough that you also gain something for that trade-off of less durability, which is it's lighter. And for a lot of things, it's a big deal, being lighter. You know? Very big deal. And that very big deal is sort of like changing the world as we know it. Because, like, it's no longer, like, if you want to have, like, in your country, you say, okay, I don't want people to have weapons. That's like, ha, that's funny. You think you can stop them, you know? Like, it used to be not completely insane to think you could, to a degree. Like, there's always going to be criminals. The criminals are always going to ignore the law, right? Like, that's why the criminals, you know? But it used to be, like, there's a certain amount of stuff you could do. And now it seems like that is no longer the case. Is that it's an effort in futility. Because, like, what are you going to do? Stop 3D printers? They're literally printers. This is like the technology existed in the 1970s. It's just been stuck in copyright, you know, hell for a very, very long time. That's why we didn't have, like, somebody had the copyright for 3D printers for a very long time, and they wouldn't let anyone do anything with it. And that is why all of a sudden you're just like, 3D printers, what? They're everywhere. Well, that's why. Copyright hell. Which is just going to show you copyright is broken if it's like, oh, this company had this amazing technology and they literally did nothing with it and sat on it forever. Why? How does that make any sense? You know? It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see. This could be done better. If I did that and that. There's a little bit of space here now. Looking for something that's like you here, and then take that. And then probably give you to, what is it, Griffin? He's got a Edgewalker 1. Umbreon has an Edgewalker 3. So, Griffin. Time to upgrade, man. Alright. Anyone else having a cross? Because now we have a 1 just lying around not being used. I don't see anyone else. Wait, that's a Mark II. Nowhere near as good as a... Oh fuck, who was that? Was it you? I guess. And the cross is a heavy weapon, right? Where are you? Hacker. So, do have decent hacking. Anywho. It's going to be interesting to see, like, how the world changes when they realize, like, if everyone who has access to a 3D printer can get a gun, all of a sudden, like, why do you have gun control? Because you know it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it stops making as much sense because it's preventing the people who aren't criminals from getting it, but it's not stopping the criminals. And it's like, oh, why are you doing it? It's like, makes a lot less sense. Like, if it were, like, feasible, right? That's one thing. But, like, it's not. You know? If you don't know who Prince Suit Repeat is, and you're hearing this thinking, like, what is this crazy person talking about? Go put Prince Suit Repeat into YouTube and see what comes up. Very, very interesting that where the technology is going. And, like, the people developing this is just, you know, random tech bros who are really into the tech and guns or whatever. And, like, you know, hey, I think this is cool. You know, I'm going to try to figure out how this works and see if I can make something at home with, like, various 3D software like AutoCAD or you know, one made for 3D printers specifically. You know what I mean? They're not like actual gun developers. You know what I mean? Like, there's no actual professionals spending lots of time working on this. And that's where, and we've gotten, like, it's gotten so crazy with no professionals, actually, you know, no companies, no, like, lots of money in development. It's just, like, a ton of guys who are just like, I think this is cool. You know? Like, that's the, which is not to, like, call them shit or anything. I'm just saying, like, this isn't the best of the best of the best of, you know, per people in the world working on this, making this amazing. Like, this is this, you know, like a ton of nerds in the basement or wherever. And I say this as one of those nerds who only I work on other stuff, antique swords. But you know what I mean? Like, this isn't like the people who work at, you know, Smith and Wesson or whatever. I don't know gun companies. uh, let's see, SN, right? Smith and Wesson. I don't know. Gun companies, right? This isn't like people who study it all the time and know all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure they know tons of stuff, like, especially more than me on that sort of thing. But, like, they're not, like, I'm a professional, I do this for a living 24/7, I know everything there is to know, back to, like, the history of everything. You know what I mean? Like, they're this enthusiast. Great. Like, so I'm really into this thing. I think it's cool. I learn what I can. I don't have, like, formal training on how to be the best that ever was at this thing. I haven't, you know, access to, like, this great lab with all this money and tools and personnel to, like, teach me years and years and years of, like, industry stuff. Don't know what that industry stuff would be. No idea. You know? But, like, every industry has its own, you know, insider industry stuff that they learn. Like, with the sword stuff, like, something that if you're not really into it, people start talking about like weight distribution and tapering, and you're like, why does this matter? And you don't get it. And like some of us are literally just being like losing our mind. Wait, no, that's a chain mail, not a chain search. We want to replace the chain search. The blue chain search, standard grade. So that one. So high grade, big difference. I mean, pretty big difference. It's the same amount of coverage, but 29%, 17. It's giving up some stealth, but we don't really hit that stealth button all that often. I would prefer to have not the shirts, but the full-on mail, but that can be hard to get. Dark leather. I will replace it. So, actual mail, right? This is 100% covered everywhere. And wall 10, 12, 25, 29, it looks very, very similar. But that difference in coverage is huge, which is why we're not replacing these. We're only replacing the blackened chainmail certs or leather, if we can find it. It's full mail. I think they're all, at this point, wearing chain or better. At high grade. Except for the hive gear. But the hive gear, and there's a few wearing black and chainmail that are full mail, not like the shirt. But for the hive gear, there is no good source of very high grade hive gear. There just isn't. So we're just kind of fucked. And green, yeah. So like for this sort of stuff, like there's only so much we can do, and we've already done it. We could give a specialist holy plate to someone. I'm looking for someone who has a lot of carry weight. Ideally, a robot. The 2 people on standard, they would significantly increase their defense by upgrading. Who else has the, I think it was someone over here. Yes. TFTP. You know what? That's the same way. And now you got a paladin cross and a paladin holy armor. And you're high grade black and chainmail, like, you're scary. You scared. Alright. I think we're pretty good. We might want to sell some of this. We do have a lot. Alright. So, selling. The selling of this stuff. Come over here. So much of this episode will just be selling all of that loot we got. And transit. Alright. So, basically everything here. Yeah, the Mark II that can go. Okay. So we need to hit up these 3. Poles can go off. Okay. Yes. We'll have Flareon. I think Flareon's full. We'll hit up Jolteon. Alright, we have too much meds. Hmm. Dump you. Dump you. Anyone else have like a shit ton of meds? Beep, beep. Like a shit ton of meds. Okay. Some stuff that's not ideal, but nothing too bad. Alright, trade with Evie. Don't need that on you. Alright. Individuals inventory are okay. Still need to do something about those machines. And need to sell stuff. Not touching this for now. Alright, and you're out of stuff. Go to Jumpion, grab that, grab this, and we'll see if be good. Alright. Well, this is going pretty good, and we can fix this place up. With all this material. Huh. Are we even gonna get where we want to go? I don't know. Alrighty, I'm gonna sell the standard. Want to keep this, and I think I'll keep one of these and sell the other. And we got 2 Mark IIs. We don't need 2 Mark IIs. Gonna get rid of this. Get standard helms. Get rid of a standard pant. And okay, you got our money? Not quite. You just can't afford the chainmail. And one of the small backpacks is you also can't afford. Okay. Well. Oh. How much is enough? I don't know. Sell one of these and sell that. No, you can't afford it. Really? Standard grade blackened chainmail. Can't afford it. Feels that. Oh, he does have a. Okay, he's got a big backpack. That is very good. You will keep this. Doesn't have the ammo I'm looking for. Any good maps? No. Alright, so net sh. Net sh. Gotta remember that. Sell that one. Alright, and we'll keep 2 of these, one of those pants, those 2, some of these weapons, and we're good. Alright. And jumping on. Why? Why? Okay. So, dump all this. Oh, I should have sold these. Whatever. And I think I'll just leave. Yeah, I thought we were up to that. Any of this need to do anything with? Nah. Alright. 2, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Do we need these? I don't think we do, but it doesn't hurt. Okay. Who has a backpack? You do. Wanna do that. Inventory. Umbreon trade. Play. Now, everyone's to go about doing engineering jobs, right? And building up these, and building up these. Anywho, so my current dilemma is, do I, okay, all these are done. Do I, so how the wire is damaged is, so you essentially have 3 wires wrapping around the hilt. It's a fluted hilt, so there's like a groove cut in a big circle, like a screw, all around the grip. And in this groove, you have essentially 3 wires. You have one that's a twisted wire, well, 2 wires that twist, and that's the twisted wire. And then you have another wire that, 2 other wires that follow that on either side of the twisted wire. Alright, roof is done. So, we have power, we have batteries are filling up. What we don't have is robot repair beds. So, interior, and we also don't have prisons. Prisons are important. So, these take up iron plates, copper, and electrical components, of which we have lots. Hopefully enough. At least some of them are going to be finished. Or that one. Well, maybe. It's amazing how quickly they use this stuff up. Anywho. So, my current dilemma is, the twisted wire is gone. On the sword where the, pommel and backstrap, it's all one piece, came off. Twisted wire, gone. When I got it, I just didn't have it. Once it fell off, I was able to see there's a little bit, behind the, backstrap that was, left. But basically all of it's gone. I have a few tiny little pieces that fell out because the backdrop was now gone, and that's it. And the total amount is like maybe an inch worth in multiple pieces. So basically all gone. So I have new brass wire. I've had a big supply of brass wire for doing this. This isn't the first sword I've had to rewire. And the purpose of the wire, right? Purpose of the wire is to A, look pretty. And that's like sort of like the most important thing, right? And B, it helps keep the grip material connected to the grip. Often that is either leather or sargreen. Sargreen is a leather made out of fish skin, usually some form of ray or shark. It's very, very rough. It feels very dry. It's water resistant, and it feels kind of like sandpaper. And some people would sand it to make it feel less sandpapery, but a lot of people would wear gloves holding the sword anyway. Nowadays, it's less popular to just wear gloves all the time, but that used to be a thing a lot of people did. Is like part of their clothing is they wear gloves because everything was the city and the peasants were all filthy. And I can't touch the peasants. And yeah, seriously, that was the thing. Um, so people would wear gloves, and it was fairly common, right? And honestly, people were pretty dirty back then. And germs, what are germs? I don't know what germs are. Uh, okay. So where shall we put our prison cells? It's getting a bit tight in here. I think what I want to do is build some more beds right here, and then maybe look about getting a different one of these to put the prisoners in. Like a whole separate building for prisoners. Interior bed. Let's do it like this. And here. Okay. And anyone here, just come over here. Interior bed. And I'm going to leave a lot of space right here. Anywho. So, second, helps keep that on. Third, it helps give you more of a grip, because especially with twisted wire, it's you can use twisted wire as essentially like a wire brush, a wire wool type thing. It's somewhat like it's good for a grip. Um, Brass was very common. Mine is brass. Uh, Gold was not very common, but gold plating on stuff was very common. Um, Silver, like solid silver, was very common. You don't see silver plated wires, but you see solid silver wires. Silver is a lot cheaper than gold. Like, people do not understand this, but like right now an ounce of gold is like thousands and thousands of dollars. And an ounce of silver is like not even 10, not even 5. It's huge difference in value and cost, and yeah, you have no idea. Well, maybe you do, but like most people don't. Most people have no idea. Alright, so we're done building. I think for now. Well, no, we're not. We want to do those prison cells. And ideally, we'll put some of those prisoners, the robots, in there now, and just leave them there. What's something we can buy? Preferably something we can buy that isn't broken. That's not gonna happen, okay. Only broken buildings for sale. Question is, which one do we want to be our prison? We could do this one, which is right next to our other building, which would be useful. Or we could do this one as farther away. I'm thinking this one. 7,200. Yes. Alright. I just imagine like the person who like runs the you know what, retail? Oh, what'd it be? Word. Real estate. Yes. Runs the real estate being like, dude, it's literally midnight and you want to buy a building. Yes. You want to buy the building. You want to give me 100% of the value up front. No loans, no nothing. Yes. What is wrong with you? Good job, Birmingham. Your leg is fucked up. You need to fix that. That's a big deal. Anyone else really fucked up? I mean, mildly fucked up. Let's, you're Birmingham? You're Birmingham. So, some of the robots have taken some wear and tear, but nothing that more than a couple minutes in a robot bed can't fix. I think we have some more building material among, yeah, 3... 4, 5. So we got enough. Anywho. So that's the purpose of the wire. It looks pretty, it gives you a better grip, it holds on whatever it is covering the grip. So my case, it's either wood or horn. It's hard to tell sometimes. I think it might be wood, but it might also be cow horn. It's dirty, it's old, I don't want to mess with it too much. It's probably wood. Build interior prison cage. Alright. Which way is, I don't know. I'm gonna say, click on it. Little bit off from the wall. Confirm. So this is, I believe, just some iron plates, and not a whole ton of them. So we should be able to build a couple of these and use up all of our iron plates. And we do need more fabric, unfortunately. Alright. Okay. Robo Boop. Put in. Lock. Also, because these are cases, that means it's entirely possible. Right. For the building, we need it to be not. Yes. It's entirely possible for someone to, wait, that's not finished, that's not finished. Are any of these finished? No. Okay. Not finished. Got it. Alright, we need more iron. And we need more fabric. So that's the purpose of the wire, and the purpose of having a twisted wire with 2 separate non-twisted wires next to it is just aesthetic. Like the 2 wires next to it are just there to frame the twisted wire. Sometimes the 2 wires next to it are smaller wires that are also twisted, but sometimes it's just non-twist. This is non-twist. I have examples that are twisted, that are framed, and I have ones that are just straight wire, like plain wire next to a twist. And I have ones that are extremely fancy that are, I'm not 100% sure how to do it. I think it's a twist using lots and lots of wires. And that's, it looks like it's some sort of like Tesla coil like thing wrapped around the grip with with larger Tesla coil like things, and it's extremely grippy. It's not come undone at all. It's probably never going to come undone, and it's something that gives you a very good grip. I have no idea how, well, I have an idea how they do it. I don't know for sure. And I don't know how you would be able to tell unless you took it apart or tried to remake it. And it's a obscure diplomatic small sword. So, like, it's not something I can just look up the model of. And there's quite a few different versions of this because, you know, diplomats like to spend money on stuff like this. So, yeah. Alright. I think we're ready to get out of here. Apparently, you got stuck. Okay, Achilles, pick up. Achilles, put down. Pick up. Put down. Alright, we could keep building. We don't need to. Come on, guys. We used to have them on hold, so once they stop moving, they gather together in a nice little area, and then if they get attacked by, say, bandits, it's not that big of a deal. Not gonna run all over the place. They're gonna stop somewhere and kill them all. Also, I don't want to be wasting ammo on bandits. Not all rains off. Good job. We do not need to loot these guys. Don't need to do anything. Oh look, bandits. Alright. Anywho, so the twisted wire all gone. The non-twisted wire, it's mostly there. So one wire is completely there. It's not missing anything. Everything's where it should be. Right. One wire is missing some bits and pieces, and that's unfortunate. And there's not really a good solution there. It's missing a piece in the middle towards where probably your ring finger would sit on the grip. And it's missing a piece that's like a couple inches long. And that might sound like a lot, but because it's twisted around the grip, and the grip's like between about 2 to 1 inches in diameter, depending on where it is. And the flute is something like it's like a screw. It's like many twists around it. So as a result, you have like, I don't know, like 20 feet of wire wrapped around a couple feet of, like, not a couple inches of grip, not feet. Like, it's like a 6-inch grip or so, or not even. It's like 5/4 in chains, something like that. It's not that big, but it's wrapped and fluted many times. There's lots of flutes. So because of that, you have a lot of length of wire. So a couple inches is only like a couple loops around. Like 2 or 3. That's a good backpack. Black and chainmail's nice, but they don't have a higher quality one. So we get this Gareth katana. Eh. Anywho. So, it sounds, you know, oh, impressive that you have, like, tons and tons and tons and tons of wire, but Or does it sound? I don't know. It's a ton of wire, and it's a pain, and it's not ideal. And because so the design of it is you have a little tiny hole where the backstrap is. And if you don't have a backstrap, the hole would be in between where the grip touches the hilt and the grip of the pommel. So out of sight, right? A little tiny hole, you shove the wire in there, and then you take a piece of wood that's sort of like a toothpick, and you shove it in there, and then you cut the wood a little bit above flush, and then you take a little bit of metal, like how to explain it, like a metal dowel, and you put it over that piece of wood and you hammer it to sort of push that piece of wood even deeper in and get it all tight, right? And wood on wood, like wood is flexible to a degree, so both pieces of wood end up flexing to fit, and then they have a really, really tight fit, and it doesn't want to come undone. It's the same rough idea of like a wood shim holding in an axe head when shoved in between the like two separate pieces of wood that make up the two separate cuts of wood that make up the end of the shaft that's inside of the axe head itself. And it gets really, really tight fit, and then it doesn't want to come loose real easily. Compressing fit. Same basic idea, this, much, much smaller pieces. And you want to use a harder wood because you don't want that toothpick to break. And you don't want that hole to come loose. So you ideally you'd use harder woods. Anywho, so that is the old method that I've since used in antiques for doing this. But sometimes it would be wood, sometimes it'd be a bit of iron. I have a ivory example that has iron little nails that are used instead of wood, and it's doesn't really have a head. It's just sort of like jammed in there, so it's flush, and it's really hard to see. Like, I found the first one almost immediately, but the second one I never found it. My friend found it after I've had it for years, and he found the second one, and I had it for years and years and years, and I could not find it. It's like really tiny, and it's like they were good at hiding it. Uh, so that sword, I was able to rewire like the grip because he found that bit. Uh, years and years, and I could not find it. It's embarrassing. Um, right. Well, I have something I wanted to sell. Right. Two more backpacks because I just bought another. Oh yeah, and these. I just bought another backpack on Birmingham, who I can give to. Sure. Trade. So I'm gonna give that to you. No, I want you. Anywho, and then trade with Umbria. So that's the method for jamming it in there before you wrap it. And it's not difficult. It's you just ideally with pliers you hold on to it. So ideally ones like what you'd use for like electrical wiring where it's solid inch of metal on either side gripping the wood part, so it doesn't easily come undone. It doesn't easily break. You don't have all the energy of you shoving it on like one tiny little bit of wood that could snap. That helps you sort of direct the energy where you want to go, which is in. And I need more iron plates. And fuck, I don't need copper. I think I need some of these. I think I just mostly need iron plates. I think it was like 99% this. I need iron plates. Hello. Yeah, no. I don't need any of that. Okay, add mag. Apparently Mantail's back here. I don't know why. Anywho. So, I have a couple options. One, I could, for the straight bit of wire that's not twisted, where it's missing a little bit, I could go to that section. I could take a bit of non-twisted wire, you know, the right everything. I could, in the back where the backstrap will cover it, I could just, you know, twist two pieces of wire together, get it tight, and then wrap around to replace those bits where it's missing, and then go over to where it's not, and like basically do it again. Have it set up where it's all hidden. It'll look fine. The main concern with that is durability. How long will it last? Looks like I ran through. Yep, I did run through. Okay. You have a big backpack. Grab the frag back. Kill the wolves. Not just the women. Or not just the men, but the women and the children wolves. Sand, it gets everywhere. I hate it. This map is like, it's so much like, it reminds me of Tatooine. Like, look at this place. This is like a dead ringer for Tatooine. Like, you could do so many prequel memes here. Anakin! It's over! I have the high ground! Don't try. Anywho. Where was I? Right. So, I could do that. The main worry is if that wire is twisted, if it becomes loose, it can become loose. It's not that hard for it to become loose. There could be problems someday. Probably not like soon, but eventually. Like years and years down the line, there could be issues. It's something you have to think about with antiques because like if you do it right, this antique's going to be around for years and years and years. And that's sort of like, hopefully, right? That's the plan. So you kind of want to think long term here, not just, short term. Do that, right? And do that. Move this here. Okay, I got 3 squares. Here and 1 square here. How am I going to do this? Something like... Alright. I don't know. Not really a good way to do this. I think that the whole area is kind of a mess. Alright. Off to heading. So, the main concern is eventually that, the wire twisted together will come loose. This is from like wear and tear of the wire getting pulled on a little bit because part of that's how it works. It works by gripping. You have it wrapped up pretty tight. Well, not too tight, but pretty tight. And as you hold the grip and handle the grip, it pulls on your fingers a little bit, which helps give you more grip, and then that pulls on the wire a bit. So ideally, you have the wire really done well so that it never comes loose and you don't have to worry about problems. Ideally. In practice, that doesn't always happen. Now, you know, ideally. Why are you guys not moving? Are you stuck? There we go. Okay, we need Beep. Beep had the High Inquisitor, yes? Yes. So, an alternative would be I drill 2 more holes. So, where I swap over from the old wire to the new wire, and then the new wire back to the old wire, where it's missing that chunk of wire, I could have 2 holes in the back, where it'll be behind the back strap, shove both ends of, you know, the old and new wire in there, hammer in a little bit of wood, it's all fine. Not Bayan. Where is your boss? Where is the stone, Esta? Esta. Boss lady. Talk to. I could do that. And you fought yada yada, you're no longer an outsider, you are our kin. I name you warrior crawl and honorary invincible. Beep the battleborn. Put in. I am now Beep the battleborn. What do you mean committing crime? Not wanted by. Oh yeah. It's because Holy Nathan wants me because I just turned in him. So prove it worse to me. Okay. Talk to. Valenta is defeated, and the Holy Nathan is in a panic. Forgiveness, kin. Not you. He must die. Well, I am Beep the Battleborn now. Well, Beep is Beep the Battleborn. Hooray. How the stats doing? 20 to 30s, 27 on katanas, 30s for his combat stats. Not amazing with a lot of the others. Very good athletics. He's been working out. Doing his steps. Alrighty. We probably don't want much here. We might want something from the travel shop or the armor shop. Maybe. The thing that's most interesting to me would be something from the ninja place. Ninjas. Hello. Ah. Wait, oh. Why did it say... What? Why are you hostile to Beep? What is this? What is this? What? Game? Shinobi Seas 100. I'm literally max relation. What the fuck is... The game... This glitch to attack. What the fuck? Anyone? Lots of bounties. Don't want to attack you. Why are you... Game being glitzy, piece of shit. I cry. Go in here and try to talk to people? Alright. Steady arm, no thank you. Any really high grade pants or helmets? No. Oh wait, talk to you again. Trade, yes. I do have some stuff to give you. Alright. Did say hostiles and ninjas? Tech ninjas are okay with me, but the Shinobis are not. That's weird. As regular bolts, not long bolts. I cry. We really have too much meds. We really need to go out and clear anything that's not this good. That's what I'm thinking. It's 100% or it's gone. We have like a stupid amount of meds. After that last raid, we raided the Holy Nation doctors. Like, we actually raided their fucking hospitals. Oh, we're war criminals now. Oof. But we actually have too much meds. That's an actual problem. Alright. Jolteon. Okay. Like, this is crazy. I think those big ones are gonna get sold. Alright. And now we can see exactly how much food we have, which is a fair amount. And I think, oh right, have that. I was gonna mostly just leave these guys how they are and just add them if I need them. And not go out and purge all that. But this is way more than enough splints. This one's stolen, so it can't stack. And these, I have so many stolen ones, I'm not worried about them stacking. This is just like insane. We have so much meds. Food is something we might need more of. Trade with Eevee, to trade with Jolteon, move over the raw meat. And in the general store, let's see what you have. You have iron. We could use some iron. You do have iron. You know what? We need fabrics, don't we? And what am I looking at? We have 18 skeleton repair kits, so we'll get on those. What we could maybe use is food. Weapon stop sucks. So do you. Alright. It's a shame that so many of the weapon stops in this game, once you get past like super early game, there's just no point buying anything from them ever. You know? Like, it's actually a shame. It's actually a shame. Like, at a certain point, what point are they going to a weapon shop? Because you just know whatever they have will be garbage compared to what you're using. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have something to sell, there's no point even bothering with any weapon shop in the game other than, like, the one. Because nobody else has anything near that quality. So that quality sets the standard, and everything else is substandard. It's just so substandard to not even be worth going. Like, other than the few that sell, you know, missile weapons. Like, I I see Skinner, and I'm like, oh no, Skinner. And then I'm like, oh wait, there's a guy named Skinner. Like, uh, uh I'm not, I'm not traumatized. You're traumatized. What was it, episode 2, we died to a Skinner? Anywho, so we have completed our mission of getting rid of that 100% of the High Inquisitors now. All that is left. There is only one. There's only one guy. And he's going to be a walk in the park. Question is, do we want to go directly for him? Or do we want to... Okay, well, there, Crawl's chosen. Okay, Crawl's chosen. You come to die? I'll take your big swords. I'll leave your hats. I'll leave your shorts. I think I just want the big swords. No. Actually, there is a way. The amount of work I do just so I don't have to make 2 trips. And I still have to make 2 trips. God damn it. Curse you. Yeah, I'll leave it. Not great. Standard quality, 200. Meh. Alrighty, that's worth what, 6, 7K probably. So we need to take out High Lord Phoenix. We need to probably go after a few places before we go after High Lord Phoenix, like his holy military bases. I don't see a beak thing. I think it's just wolves. I'm not worried about the wolves. Mantle took a few hits there. That's not good. Anywho. So, the main reason I don't want to do the multiple holes method is it's not the original way, and it could, so the original way, it has some negatives, like let's say if you wrapped the wire, right, and you wrapped it like too loose, it can kind of distribute that looseness evenly between all the wire and be less of a problem. Not a problem, but like less noticeable of a problem. Like it's still a problem, it's just you can't notice it as easily because it's like an inch of looseness across 20 feet of wire. So like a fraction here, a fraction there. And it's not all in one place, it's hard to notice it. There's no drastic difference from one loop to the next. If you, depending on how you do it, you could run into a drastic difference. I'm just not even going to bother with those bandits. Or these bandits, if I can avoid them. So that's like one pro of doing it in one big piece is like you're not gonna get, you know, a drastic difference in like tightness between one area and the other area. If you do it in a, but if something goes wrong, the whole thing can unravel. which is, you know, the bad part. Is worst case scenario, it's really bad. Compared to worst case scenario, it's less bad. It's still bad, but it's more localized bad if you use multiple holes. But you can have a more drastic difference in the tightness of the wire if it, you know, comes a little bit loose over time, or the wire stretches a little bit, or, you know, whatever. Which can look weird. Also, it's not the way they used to do it, and that's something where I like to kind of like use the original methods for repairs whenever possible. In part because that way, let's say someone 100 years from now opens up this sword, and they're trying to figure out how their swords were made. Well, if I use the original sword making methods they used 150 years ago, then the person opening it up is not, like, they're not going to be able to tell the difference between my stuff and someone else's, like the original stuff, as far as what the work is, how it was done, etc. They might be able to tell the difference if they like take that little bit of wood and carbon date it, and are like, oh, the carbon from this toothpick is 150 years different from the carbon of the wood, so this has to be a repair, right? Like, that's fine. But like the methodology is the same. So you're not losing the original construction methodology. You're not losing the ability to take it apart, figure out how it was made originally. You're not losing that history, because it's the same way now as then after I'm done with it, if I do it right and, you know, study everything. If I don't do it exactly the same, then maybe there is something lost as far as something you could learn from studying it that you can no longer learn from studying it. Like, how did they make the grips back in 18 whatever? So that's one thing to consider, is what will be lost as far as like knowledge. Actually, I don't think I have any robot beds. I think I finished all my robot beds. I think I've just got normal beds and cages. So, haha. We're gonna have at least 5, maybe more than 5. At least 6. These require multiple, so I don't know if I have enough. Yeah, I only have 1 here. I might not have enough plates to finish all of these. Adding material. I only have 1 left. Oh, that's a shame. That needs more plates. Alright, alright, alright. We have finished our beds. We've sort of reached the point where we don't really need new recruits. We have what we need. We just need more experience on our existing recruits, and adding more recruits will, if only, if anything, slow us down for the most part, unless it's like a really, really good recruit. So even though these robots are really good for, compared to a lot of stuff you can even get, they will actually slow us down for a little bit. And they'll take away from our mission because we'll be running around training them and whatever. So I think it's nice to have them. I think I'll leave them in these prisons for now. And I might sleep for a bit and then buy some more and finish up these prisons. Put in. Wait, that's a robot, right? That's a robot. You don't have one. Beep doesn't have. Alright, so list all. Put in. Who else has one? Anyone? Yes, kill. / kill. Put in. But, hey, if we lose anyone, we come by one of our bases here, we recruit a skeleton. And we immediately have someone who's got fairly decent stats and can be very good in a short amount of time. Although, I think what I'm probably going to do is end it in a minute, and then in between episodes in the downtime, have everyone rest in the various beds, and then get some more iron, and then finish these up. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Because it's just going to be essentially waiting. Waiting for, people to hit, 245 on that limb. Waiting for you to hit 145 on that limb. And, waiting for you to hit etc. Just lots and lots of waiting. And it doesn't seem very engaging content of waiting for people to, sleep in beds. Combat? No, combat. Okay. Anywho, so I think that'll be it for this episode. And then next episode, we will head north, take out these holy military bases, raid some of these farms, and maybe take out Rebirths. I do want to hit Rebirths. Do I have to? Freeing the slaves could be an interesting episode, but it's a very, very big place. It's lots of running all over the place. There's a lot of slaves, and a lot of them are going to want to join us. I could just take out Lister Hill and then go to Rebirth, and it'll be all done. I do want to hit the holy military bases. We'll see. But until then, this has been Frederick Nietzsche and episode 41 of Kenshi 101. To be continued.